What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got a dope video for y'all for entertainment purposes only. So stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell and leave a comment. But enough with the talking, let's get straight into the video.
So who all remembers the story of David and Goliath, how David went up against this monstrous ass man? Now let me ask y'all this question again. Who remembers the story about David and Goliath? And Goliath was 9 feet tall. This dude has to be almost 9 feet tall. 7 or 8 feet. And why is his thumb as big as his head? Ain't no way. And here goes somebody straight out of Mexico that can pass as one of Goliath's nephews. And we all remember these stories about giants, right? This man right here is the size of his stomach. And the only thing that this does is make you think, do these Nephilim seeds still walk among us? 7.5 feet tall. Let's let those who have eyes see clearly. See clearly. Y'all let me know what y'all think about these Goliath seeds walking around in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned.
First videos, it just looked like some regular tall guys. That last video of that Nigerian soldier, now that looked like a giant.
Look, you guys, deers are now on the attack. They are attacking people, y'all. Look at this. The deer's attacking them. He said he's been doing this for 5 minutes. He came out, made his coffee, and then the deer just came out, started attacking him.
The buck.
He said it's me.
Motherfucker. What's your deal?
Look at his hair, y'all. Look at his hair. He's been fighting it for a while.
Would you just look out your window? I was making my fucking coffee.
He was making the coffee. The deer attacked him. Oh, man. Look at him, boy. Hey.
Holy crap. I'm gonna let you go. You're gonna go your way. I'm gonna go mine.
He's so tired. Look at it. Yep. That is the second deer video I've came across within a month. And this is the new year and we already have a deer attack, y'all. So we can definitely say this year is going to get a lot more interesting. It's going to increase. And I'm going to keep sharing with you interesting things during these interesting times. So let me know what you guys think about this video. The animals are attacking. Nature is taking back its land.
Yo, listen to what these people had to say. Y'all see the Kundalini? Crazy. Listen up.
Morals. Let's talk about Hollywood's role in this.
Oh, Lord. We don't even want to go there. They're part of the problem.
In what way?
Because they're so biased, and it's one way or the highway. If you don't think like a liberal, then we don't want to have nothing to do with you. We're not going to put you on TV. You're not going to go on the news. No, it's that the media is part of the problem with this too.
Explain.
Because our First Amendment rights, everybody has a right to their opinion. But when you have 90% of the media coverage not talking about only one side, then it's very biased. It goes against our Constitution.
Remember 2020?
Our forefathers and mothers up there are going, this is not what we meant.
Oh my God, yes. Hollywood's evil, of course. Everyone knows that. And places like Disney and places that you think you're bringing your kids to that are safe are not safe.
In what way?
Child abductions take place.
At Disney?
At Disney, and terrible things happen in Hollywood, and parents, are just, I guess, not privy to that information, and they let their children go, and horrible things happen, so.
What's Hollywood's role in all of this?
Well, we're going to go down a slippery slope of the Illuminati on that one, so.
Explain.
Let's look at Taylor Swift. Let's look at what's cat. Doja Cat. I mean, it is horrific, the things that they're putting on there about the adrenochrome, the drinking of the baby's blood. It's all of these things of you essentially selling your soul to the devil to become famous and to be able to do these things.
Is this sort of QAnon stuff too?
I separate myself from QAnon. I will be honest that I got into it years ago. At the end of the day, I am a Christian. I lead my life in faith through the Lord, and then I look at people based off of their business, skill set and what they believe in, and that's it for me. I'm not going to base it off of if, ands, and buts. But just like aliens, we've known there's been aliens for how long, and they just come out with it, and nobody cares because we've known for years. It's all distraction to me, is what this other stuff is. With celebrities, all of that stuff, it's all distraction, but it is pretty disgusting what happens. And
Can't y'all see it's like a lot of people really starting to wake up out here and starting to understand what the real truth is? If you ain't wake up by now, or you're not on the verge of waking up,
The Dumbest Ways to Die, Part 1. In 1993, Canadian lawyer Gary Hoy claimed to a group of students that the windows in his building were unbreakable. To prove this, he threw himself at the window at full force. While the glass didn't break, the frame popped out and Gary fell 24 stories to his death. The man who once had the longest beard in the world died after he accidentally stepped on it and broke his neck. Last January, a Kansas man died after being shot by his dog in a freak hunting accident. He was sitting in the front seat of his pickup truck when his dog stepped on his rifle in the back seat. In Houston, Texas, a 19-year-old man named Rashad died while attempting to play Russian roulette. Apparently, he didn't know how the game worked since he tried using a semi-automatic pistol instead of a revolver. In 1871, Ohio lawyer Clement Vallandigham was trying to demonstrate how the victim might have accidentally shot himself instead of being murdered. In the process, Clement accidentally shot himself. He died, but he won the case.
The benefits of the sun include decreasing resting heart rate, decreased blood pressure, decreased respiratory rate, decreased blood sugar, decreased lactic acid in the blood. Lactic acid is very toxic against the blood. We know it leads to the illness with a big C. Increased energy and strength and endurance, increased tolerance to stress, increased ability of the blood to absorb and carry oxygen. That's all from the sun. So why would we take SPF, which is a petroleum-based toxin, rub it all over our body, and block out the ability for the sun to heal our body if those are all the benefits? Especially the last one, increases ability of the blood to absorb and carry oxygen. Without oxygen, you just die. That's it, like straight up. How does that make any sense at all? Marketing plays a big role. There are billions of dollars of marketing telling you to rub that nonsense all over your skin because it's going to save you from the sun, which is giving you all of these benefits. How does that make any sense at all? You know, this is just a great book. If anybody wants to look into the healing properties of light, this is a great book. You can also add Health and Light by Dr. John Ott.
I don't think I ever put on sunscreen. Like, what's the point? If the sun gives us life and nutrients and all this other stuff, why block that out?
Did Nikola Tesla, the legendary scientist and inventor, believe that the pyramids of Egypt were actually ancient power plants? And is it possible that he based one of his own inventions, the Tesla Tower, which collected free energy from the Earth itself, off of the ancient Egyptian pyramids? Well, some people seem to think so. I've always thought that the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced than we're being told, and that the pyramids were not burial sites, since no king or pharaoh or queen was ever found in one. Did Nikola Tesla feel the same way and figured out that these pyramids actually could collect energy from the Earth itself? And was that the basis for some of his greatest inventions? I don't know, since the government took all of his papers and notes right after he passed away. But if you ask me, this was probably more like this 5 to 10,000 years ago. And Tesla knew it. Shabadoo, Bushkis! Shabadoo!
Yo, did you know when you're making a wish on your birthday and you blow out the candles, you're making a wish to somebody else? Check this out. So guys, in this article right here, it's going to tell you why the cake is round, why it has candles, and who you making a wish to. You're going to trip out. So it says here, the ancient Greeks started making cakes that were modeled after the moon as tribute to Artemis, the goddess of the moon. The cakes were made as circles, then lit with candles to shine like the moon. There was also a common belief that evil spirits visit people on their birthdays. So this is why you need to stop making a wish when you blow out candles on your birthday. Now, in my previous video, I talked about another reason why you need to stop celebrating your birthday. Now, in that video, I talked about the happy birthday song and why we should stop singing it. Because when you sing the happy birthday song, you are casting a spell onto yourself and you're making yourself older. Because when you sing that song, you chant it 3 times, happy birthday to you. And also you're saying, how old are you? And the word old is a spell, because I looked up the original meaning for the word old, which means ancient. And since all words are spells, every time you say that word, you are making yourself older. Now, I'm not here to say that I'm right about everything I'm saying in this video. I'm just here to deliver the information to you. I want you to think for yourself and do your own research. Peace, get woke, and keep rising.
How many of y'all singing happy birthday and wishing to those entities and blowing out those candles? I think we all been guilty.
So you guys know about the mud floods and how the government hides our history by putting cities on top of cities. Well, these kids went into an underground bunker in Chicago. Check this out, y'all. Look what they found. Yeah, it gets pretty interesting. Never seen such a Range Rover before. Look at all these old things down there, y'all. Is that? Look at this, y'all. This is interesting. This is like the second video I've come across where they have things underground, but we already know they got bunkers, y'all, so this is not uncommon. It looks like a whole dormitorium. Wow. But why do they have lights in there, y'all? Could it be really abandoned if they have lights? What the hell? But yeah, they have working lights and everything. Ain't no way that's abandoned. And who's paying for this? I want to know who's paying for the electricity. It looks like someone's there. Everything will be revealed to us in due time, y'all. Just hold on a little longer. We got this shift here. We're taking it. You already know what to do, y'all. Keep up with your boy. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shit. Peace out.
I'm pretty sure it's all kind of underground cities that we done built on top of. But you know what? We need a place for the rats to live, right? But on a serious note, do you think it's some things that's going on under there? Or do y'all think it's just abandoned?
So Japan gets a New Year present. A 7.6 earthquake that caused tsunami waves. Yeah, Happy New Year's, huzzah! The earthquake was so strong that it made the bricks on the ground do the worm. Are y'all seeing this crazy shit? Yeah, like shaking whole parking garages and disrupting foundations. 2024 welcomed Japan with open arms with the fuckery. And then them earthquakes caused a massive tsunami. Gargantuan waves smacking into buildings, destroying shit. Are y'all seeing this? This is Japan right now as we speak. They going through it. And this is the first day of the new year. I can only imagine what the rest of this year has in store for us. Yeah, because Japan, they going through it. Oh yeah, we can't forget that California just had a tsunami too. Yeah, the water acting different. Let me know what y'all think about Japan getting hit with a 7.6 in the comments. Like or follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned. In the comments, like or follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned.
So I have to ask, aliens, UFOs that you can't explain, like have you ever encountered in all the years, because you've been flying a lot, and as you know, in the last couple of years, there's been a load of things that have come out of footage from, you know, military aircraft, civilian aircraft, just with technology and cameras and everything being what they are. Like, have you ever come across anything? Dude, what do you got to tell us?
And so, first of all, I'll say, I was one of those guys that sort of, you know, listened to those Navy pilots talk about aliens and stuff, and be like, and you're giving us bad name, you know. But it was just a couple years before I retired. I was flying a day air-to-air training mission with my wingman over the Gulf of Mexico. So we took off out of New Orleans, and we were just doing 1v1 dogfighting, and good weather, daytime, and I'm pulling up. I'm looking up, probably, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock out of the canopy at my wingman, who's pointed back towards my 6 o'clock. And I see something go right by the canopy, right? And instinctively I duck, thinking it's a bird or something, but I realize I'm way too high for a bird. So then my logical brain says, okay, this is a glare off the canopy or something. So I'm gonna keep fighting. My wingman says, "Did you just see that?" I'm like, "I saw something." So he called it knock it off, and a knock it off means the fight's over. And he goes, "I'm gonna chase it." And I was like, "Okay." So he goes back. I turn around. We have our radars out. We have we have training missiles that are infrared scanning. Can't find it. We circled the whole area. Could not find anything. And so now I'm convinced, like, it's a weather balloon or something, right? We go back to base and we're debriefing it, and I'm trying to debunk it the whole time. And we get the models out, and we're like this, and we're moving this fast, and some things, you know. And he's like, "Dude, this thing went by your jet, turned, and followed you." And I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I didn't know that part.
So is that on radar?
No, that was just with his eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys have the equivalent of dash cams?
We do. We don't always turn them on. In fact, 9 times out of 10 in the reserves, we wouldn't turn them on because it's just one more thing for us to carry and forget. So, but yeah, so we were talking about it, and a guy in the squadron said, "Hey, you know, one of my buddies works for ONI, and they're trying to stand up this big thing at the Pentagon for trying to figure out what these things are. There's a whole form you fill out." We're like, "Really? Okay." So we go into the classified, we go to the SCIF and get the form, fill out all the information, send it off, thinking, like, I'm never going to hear from this again. The next day, we got a call from a guy at the Pentagon that was like heading up this whole UAP program, and he's like, "I want to give your squadron a classified brief." And we're like, "Really?" My skipper came to me and said, "Dude, if I see little green men in this brief, I'm gonna be so excited." Yeah, I mean, bottom line is they're trying to, they don't know what it is, and they're trying to demystify it so that people aren't embarrassed about reporting it.
It wasn't too long ago, if you mention UFO, people would think you crazy. Now it's just normal talk. It's crazy how people can just switch from one way to another way just that fast.
This military fired 1,430 rounds of artillery.
That's a lot.
At this. Didn't take it down. You think, what's going to handle over 1,000 artillery rounds and not go down?
Yeah.
This thing did not.
And did they miss that many times? Probably not.
They could not have. And again, this is it's an interesting case, and this did not come down, and it just glided off. And it was tracked on radar coming to the coast. So what are we talking about?
Exactly.
Not
and
Japanese
one artillery shell would have knocked that thing out if
no
it was some kind of balloon.
Absolutely. So it's an unknown.
Tell me about UFOs for the 21st century mind.
You know, we can talk about UFOs in the 21st century. The thing about it is, many people may not be aware, UFO sightings have not gone away, not by any means.
That thing out there playing with him.
Yo, y'all remember the boy Shia LaBeouf, right? Like the main cuz that used to play in Transformers and shit? Yo, he was trying to tell us some shit. Listen to this shit.
I remember we had an FBI consultant on the picture telling me that they can use your ADT security box microphone to get your stuff that's going on in your house, or OnStar, they could shut your car down. And he told me that 1 in 5 phone calls that you make are recorded and logged. And I laughed at him, and then he played back a phone conversation I'd had 2 years prior to joining the picture. The FBI consultant. And it was like one of those phone calls that was like, you know, what are you wearing type of things. It was mad.
So listen, right? As he was talking about that shit, it reminded me about the video I seen on TikTok where they said that our phones be taking like flashes of us like every couple seconds or something. It just made me really think like, bro, they really watching and listening to everything we do, bro. It's crazy.
Instant Karma, Part 2. In 2016, a Somalian suicide bomber brought explosives onto a commercial flight with the intent of blowing up the plane. 20 minutes after takeoff, the explosives detonated and blasted a hole in the side of the plane. The bomber was instantly sucked out and ended up being the only fatality. Some douchebag tried to destroy a giant snowman with his truck, but he made the fatal error of not realizing it was built on a giant tree trunk and likely smashed his vehicle in the process. In 1962, a Cuban boxer named Benny Perret made fun of his opponent Emil Griffith for being a homosexual. Griffith ended up beating Perret so badly that he ended up in a coma and died 10 days after the fight. In 2001, a Utah man was driving a van full of his friends on a mountain when his brakes suddenly failed. But rather than trying to save them, he only tried to save himself by jumping out of the car. He died almost instantly while all of his friends ended up surviving.
Let's get this shift. You already know what to do, y'all. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. I'm only bringing awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times, y'all. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace out.
I have a feeling that in 2024, we're going to see an influx of natural disasters.
My podcast.
What's up with all these new UFO sightings? You know, they're all over TikTok, they're all over YouTube, they're all over Instagram. People keep seeing more and more UFOs, or just anomalies in the sky. No, this is not Project Bluebeam. I know you guys love to talk about Project Bluebeam, but this is actual technology. This isn't some made up, random technology. Look, we literally have quantum computers. These things are super, super advanced and can process things quicker than the human brain. So what makes you think we don't have other technology? A lot of these aircrafts that you do see in the sky, these UFOs, are real technologies. But the thing is, they're not man-made. They were reverse engineered from technologies that have existed eons ago, all the way back from Atlantean, Lemurian, ancient Egyptian times. I mean, this is why the Vatican has a whole freaking library with books that we have never ever seen before. They have a literal vault. And I suspect that in these books and in these secret societies like the Freemason, the Templars, technically they don't exist anymore, but they're still here. They hold the secret knowledge to the ancient technologies and they're reverse engineering it. This isn't some modern day thing that we just discovered. It has always been here. If you really research into this perceived phenomenon, you will see paintings from the medieval times of aircrafts in the sky, like literal disc-shaped UFOs. And even during like our Neanderthal, like caveman days, you know, when we're not supposed to know any better, but you have these cavemans drawing aircrafts in the sky. You can find aircraft like things in all of the cultures, in all of the different countries, in all of the ancient cultures as well. There is nothing new underneath the sun. These technologies have been here. And when I say they're not man-made, they are literally extraterrestrial or fallen angelic technologies. You guys are gonna get tired of me saying this, but the fallen angels are not what you think they are. All they are is just extraterrestrials. They come from different dimensions. And their main goal to come here on Earth was to colonize us. Which is why they created religion to control us and make us fear. And then they used the term, ooh, fallen angels, like they're so powerful and so almighty. That's for you to fear them. Because what sounds more threatening? A fallen angel, a paranormal supernatural entity, or an alien? What sounds more threatening? You know what I think the whole goal of this is with all these UFO sightings? It's like the Anunnaki story all over again. In which they're gonna come down here and they're gonna be like, look, you guys are ruining society, you guys are ruining yourselves. I'm an alien god, so I'm gonna save you. And we're gonna be colonized again. This is a rinse and repeat story for eons. I explain why these extraterrestrials here and what they truly want from us and our true galactic history in my book. My book is linked in my bio if you wanna know more.
Hey guys, G-Dragon with its max comfort design has portable desk and wireless charger. Clean cooler and heater, touchscreen controller, zero gravity rotation, hydraulic monitor adjustment, seat heating, cooling and massage system, RGB and reading lights, leg and foot support, and Bluetooth speaker. How do you feel?
So the news is not talking about this, but there is something going around, something else that they infected us with. And it's not COVID, it's not the flu, it's not RSV. All the typical cold symptoms, sore throat, body aches, fever, cough, congestion, etc. But when they come in to the ER, they have swelling in their legs, water in their lungs, fluid in their heart, etc. And we're talking people of all ages, including very young people. But they don't want you to know what's really going on, so they're not putting it in the news. I'm telling you, the entire ER where I work at is so full to capacity that there's no room for patients coming into the ER. We have patients that are contagious and they're on top of each other in the hallways because there's no room for everyone. There's not enough space. There's beds all over the hallway. Everyone's coughing on each other. So I guess the new way to unalive people is the same thing as COVID, I guess. But this time, they're not gonna let the public know. They're just gonna do it on the down low. The only people that are aware are the ones that are working in healthcare. Just be safe out there, guys. Be careful. Make sure you wash your hands and wear a mask and stay away from people as much as you can.
I wonder what's going on, because from the end of last year to now, like a bunch of people came down with the flu and was down bad. Y'all heard anything in y'all cities or y'all countries? What's going on? Let me know in the comments.
Can we discover new elements? Something like mithril or adamantium? Maybe. An element is determined by the number of protons it has. Protons live in the nucleus of every single element, but protons can get pretty complicated. For one, it's a quantum thing. It exists in a limbo state until one of our observations forces it to choose a form. And one of the things that it can be made of, a charm quark, is heavier than the proton itself. If only everything worked like like that. So no two elements have the same number of protons. You might remember that this is also known as the atomic number. So there are elements with 7, 9, or 12 protons, but not 3.5. What we have here is complete. It's all the numbers. If we had an element that went from 10 to 12, then we would know something was missing. But we don't. The highest naturally found element in nature is uranium, although that can get a little bit complicated, with 92 protons. The rest, up to 118, are man-made. Element 119 is possible, but it might collapse from its own size, or there could be a whole row of stable elements that could completely change our lives and are only man-made.
I think we know nothing at the end of the day. I can see 5-10 years from now, they saying, oh, we discovered 10 more naturally formed elements.
So if you pay attention, this realm will actually give you the secrets. And I want to talk about one of them: reincarnation and souls. Oh, and bodies. So first off, if you've ever noticed driving on a highway, you can see that there are cars moving, obviously. And what you can do while viewing this is correlate those cars to how we operate. So think of your body as a vehicle. Some of y'all already probably know where I'm going with this. Good job. Your body is a vehicle just like a car. So just like those cars that you see moving on the highway, there's an energy inside of the car that is operating the vehicle. Same with us. We have souls and spirits that operate our physical vehicle. And just like actually having a car, you can operate outside of that vehicle. Same thing with real life. When you go to sleep, you operate outside of your vehicle. Hopefully this logic doesn't go over y'all head. Like, don't take it too far. Take it for what I'm saying. Your body is an actual vehicle, and your spirit/soul governs your body. It operates your body. So how reincarnation works is, or spawning into games or realms, is you already exist before you spawn into a vehicle. You exist outside of the physical density. And then you choose to upload yourself or download yourself, whatever time you want to use, to a body to operate in that natural realm and to operate by the natural laws of being an organism. So with that being said, you existed before you spawned here in a physical body. With reincarnation being real in this multiverse, you can spawn here in multiple vehicles with the same spirit or same soul. In each incarnation, you won't remember the last one. You can tap in a little bit because some of that information will still be stored in your spirit and soul, but altogether, you can come back here through a different body. And that's why some people's energies are sometimes familiar. So yeah, this is what I mean when I said when you pay attention, this realm will actually show you the cheat codes to how to get around and to how to better understand yourself, because you are this realm. I'm finna enjoy this cupcake though, like Lord Beers right now.